why this is basically one of my Atlanta favorite events. I'm so glad it's back. I wish they would do it freaking every Sunday. That would be the best. But for sure, man, it is, I would say, for sure my favorite Atlanta event. All right, guys, welcome to Atlanta and welcome back to Calvino's World. What I have for you today is the Atlanta Streets Alive, which is a 2.5-mile route between Midtown and downtown, where they basically shut down the streets to cars and make it pedestrian only for bicyclists, joggers, skaters, whatever your mode of transportation. On this particular day, I chose to rent a scooter, which you could do very easily by downloading the app and scanning the QR code. We're starting down here by the High Museum, which I made a video for, which is free every second Sunday. So if you haven't seen that video, please check that out. Oh yeah, and you can also rent a bicycle by the same method by also downloading the app and scanning the QR code. So to the left here we have Colony Square, which holds several events, which I've also made several different videos for, which include the free outdoor movie nights, free yoga on Wednesdays, as well as the beginning and end of the Parliament of Owls parade, which I just made a video for recently. Now we're going to try to do this in one take because I'm already a day behind as far as publishing. And I would like to get this video out as soon as possible because the next Atlanta Streets Alive is coming up. Oh wait, it's not this weekend, it's actually the next weekend. But neither here nor there, I'm also trying to head to soccer. I'm trying to get ready for soccer at Piedmont Park. So I'm getting my stuff together. Anyway, you don't want to hear that. Some of the things I do want to cover real quick is the difference between Midtown and downtown. Where we are right now is all of Midtown. As a matter of fact, that empty lot to the left there is where they're going to hold the Atlanta Oyster Fest. It's a popular event. Oh, STK, I need to talk about that. We'll come back to that. But anyway, in general, Midtown is usually where there's a lot more residences. So this end is going to be a little bit more crowded than the downtown end, as well as you're going to find more locals on this end of the route. Now on the right side here, we have the Atlanta Federal Reserve, which is where they print money. If you look at a dollar bill or any denomination, they'll usually have a little mark where they say where the money was printed. I think there's like 10 different cities. I believe we have an F as our representation. And anyway, they have a free tour that I haven't taken advantage of. I'm going to go see at some point. Now to the left here is the 10th Street Park. It's a very tiny park next to a very tiny dog park. They have several events there. I also have a video for that. It's another separate outdoor movie location. I believe I went to see Footloose and E.T. and they showed Black Panther there as well. Passing over 10th Street, to the left, if you go down 10th Street, that'll take you to Piedmont Park. To the right will take you kind of back to the highway. Now, on this particular day that I was recording, it was the first one since returning from COVID. They actually took several years off. So even though there's a few people here that you kind of see, I believe it will probably be a lot more crowded on the 18th, because since the time of filming, they've already held several more of these. But as always, it depends on the weather. The nicer the weather, the more people that are going to be there. Oh, and another reason for wanting to get this video out as soon as possible before the 18th is because August 8th, well, in addition to giving you plenty of time to plan ahead so that you can come out here, August 18th is the last day for this year for the Peachtree Street route. The next route in September and onwards to the end of the year will be down by Grant Park, which is where I live, my neighborhood, but on the opposite side, and along the entrance to the zoo, going from Georgia Avenue, a straight shot through Summer Hill by the old Turner Field, which is now GSU, going all the way over to West End. So if you can, try to come out to that one as well so that you can see the difference between the Georgia Avenue route and the Peachtree route. Both are just as enjoyable. Yeah, in the past, pre-COVID, they only did this about 3 times a year. They did vary the routes. It would be 3 different routes. I don't remember the exact routes, but Georgia Avenue was one of them going over to West End, and Peachtree was one of them. I can't remember what the other one was. And like I say, it was only 3 times a year, so you didn't get to enjoy this as often. You guys should feel lucky because now they're doing it seemingly almost, no, about once a month. Personally, I think they should do this every Sunday, like other cities. The first time I saw something like this was about 15, 20 years ago down in Miami. And then 10 years ago in Brazil, every Sunday they would shut it down. They also do this in Colombia. I've seen them do it in other cities as well. Anyway, this chalk art is pretty dang amazing, man. They got some talent here. Let me tell you. Um, yeah. So going back to difference between Midtown and downtown, we are still in Midtown. Uh, Midtown is where people actually live, or more people live. There are residential spaces downtown, but just not as many. So there's more life, or I should say, more local life in Midtown. More things going on. Downtown, it'll usually be events and tourists and business people in the big hotel districts, and you'll see when we get down there. I didn't know the exact word until recently, the last couple of years, why it doesn't feel as friendly. But back in the 70s or 60s, whenever they designed a lot of the space, it's very brutalist. Brutalist is the word that they use, which it's just lots of big, gigantic buildings that make you feel small. And so there's not as many walkable spaces downtown as there should be. Keep in mind, downtown and midtown are only separated by the highway. This whole route is only, like I say, 2 miles. But once you cross over 85, 75, it's you're in midtown. Oh, and so another reason for mentioning the difference. So if you are a business traveler or tourist and you happen to be in one of those big downtown hotel district uh, hotels, and I tell this to people all the time, in general, not strictly, but in general, when you're going to a restaurant downtown, they cater to tourists and business travelers. They're not as going to be as good as the restaurants that are in midtown, and the reason for that is they have so many people coming through downtown that are just there for that week, that literally they don't have to try as hard. They don't have to provide as good a service. They don't have to worry about how good the food is, because there's always going to be a new traveler coming through next week. But 1 mile up the road into Midtown or in Old Fourth Ward or just anywhere just outside of downtown, but Midtown more specifically, the restaurants are going to be a little bit better because, like I say, this is where people live. There's far more residential spaces, so therefore the restaurants here have to be better to get repeat customers and provide better services. Now, that's not 100% true, but in general, it is a lot like that. Oh, and reason why. So Fox Theater is very much a midtown icon. You turn left here, and that takes you down Ponce toward Ponce City Market, which you should definitely visit if you haven't been. And connected to the Ponce City Market is the East Side Beltline, which everyone should visit at least once if you're just coming through Atlanta. Now, to the left here, we just passed by it, but it's the Georgian Hotel, the Georgian Terrace Hotel. If you are seeing an event or concert or comedy show at the Fox, uh, definitely consider staying at the Georgian Terrace Hotel. It's an icon. It's been around forever. It's beautiful inside. It's old, and don't get me wrong, it's very old, but you should definitely consider staying there, especially since it's right across the street from the Fox. And the Fox doesn't need much of an explanation as far as, I mean, I remember Dave Chappelle came through there, Chris Rock. If you see the Netflix special with Dave Chappelle when he's in Atlanta, that's where he filmed it at the Fox Theater right there. And as far as the restaurant thing, look, that's just my opinion. Your experience may vary. I'm just here talking shit. Ain't nobody watching my videos anyway. So please don't come on the comments beating me up. Not that anybody leaves comments anyway, but I don't need to hear it. You've got a different experience. I've got a different experience. So going back, yeah, so there are obvious exceptions as far as restaurant quality. Well, I'm not going to let me tell you where I'm going with this. So last week or the week before, I met two young ladies. I say young ladies, but they were my age or a little bit older. Let's just say that. And they were business travelers. And they were staying at the Ellis, I think it's the Ellis Hotel, or maybe across the street at the Ritz Carlton. And they were telling me they were excited because they were going to the STK for dinner. Now, here's the thing about that. The Ritz Carlton or that Ellis Street Hotel across the street, whichever one they were staying at, those are 4 and 5 star hotels. I mean, we talking, I don't know, they got to be paying like 350, 370 a night, depending on whether there's a big event in Atlanta or not. But these are like top tier hotels, okay? And they're telling me that they're going to STK for steak. And I'm like, yo, and I felt bad because I didn't say anything because it was a quick conversation in passing. And so here's the thing, and again, this is all my opinion or whatever, but like when I'm traveling, one of the things I've always hoped is like if I meet a local, they'll kind of give me the inside information as far as, you know, where to go, where to eat, what parks are there, what events are happening, instead of just the tourist stuff. But in addition, and I swear, like I say, this is just my opinion. I mean, if you're staying at one of those like, 350, $400 a night hotels and you're looking for steak, real quick, we're passing over the highway. Now we're starting to get into downtown. All right, let's go back. Oh wait, actually, real quick side note, that red church over there, I think that's the one. That's where we filmed Flight with Denzel Washington funeral scene. So if you see that funeral scene for like half a millisecond, you'll see me walking right behind Denzel Washington. Anyway, let's get back. Yeah, so they should have gone to like Chops Lobster Bar or Ray's or Hal's or Rathburns or Ruth Chris. Now, so right here is the same place where the Dragon Con parade comes through. If you haven't seen that footage, I have a video for you. Check it out. Yeah, so I'm just talking shit. I mean, shit, hell, at this point I can't even afford STK, so I don't know what I'm talking about. And I don't know who's still with me. If you're still with me and you hearing all this and you happen to agree, it'd be nice to get some backup on this. But again, I'm just talking shit. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go back. Let's refocus. So, let's see. What can we talk? Oh, so how can you tell if you are in Midtown or downtown if you're new and you're not sure? So this is very much downtown. So right now to the left, these are the buildings that are those twin buildings that kind of look the same, that are like part of the Atlanta skyline. If you're seeing those buildings or the big round shiny building, the Westin, you're downtown. If you're seeing the Ferris wheel, if you're at Centennial Olympic Park, or if you're at Underground, or if you're at Five Points, you are downtown. Now, if you are on the other side of the highway, 1 mile away or 1 mile north, and you are at Piedmont Park, you're in Midtown. If you're seeing the building that kind of looks like Angel Wings, you're in Midtown. If you're on Spring Street, you are in Midtown. If you are if you're seeing the building that kind of looks like a pencil, that's the old Bank of America building. That is very much Midtown. That's how you could tell if you're in Midtown. If you're at Ponce City Market, now you're in Fourth Ward. But that's just a general rule to kind of tell. Like if you look up and look at the skyline, that's where you are. So the Westin here, this is that shiny round building with the restaurant on. Highly recommend going to the top. to the restaurant that spins around. Again, that's another expensive restaurant that I cannot afford. But the Westin here, that's where Messi came and Argentina stayed a few weeks ago when they had the Copa America opening game. So that lets you know that that is downtown hotel. So over to the left, that's the Ritz Carlton where those ladies were staying that I met. And again, don't take me too seriously, man. I'm just talking mess right here. Um, what else? Actually, I'm pretty much running late for soccer at this point, so the rest of this is gonna be uh, gonna turn into a ASMR video. I'm sorry I can't shorten it and cut it down a little bit, but I just basically go to the end. It kind of ends down past the underground at 5 Points, and then I turn around and go
You know
right
what?
back up into Midtown. So if you stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, to the left is the Woodruff Park, and to the right, they used to have. I made a video for free yoga in the park on Saturdays, but they moved it across the street to our right side, to an area called the Boardwalk. And they'll have events over there as well. I've tried to film a few things, but I haven't put out the video. There's a really good sit down coffee shop there too by the boardwalk there. You should definitely visit there. So a little Korean restaurant over there. It's not Buford Highway standards, but it's still pretty good. This Coca-Cola emblem, that thing's been there forever, so that lets you know you're heading toward Underground and 5 Points. And if you've ever been when they used to have the peach drop, they don't do that anymore. I don't know if they even have the New Year celebration there anymore. But this whole area will be completely packed for New Year's. And it's where you would come to see the fireworks, and they would have the peace drop. But anyway, I'm running late for soccer, so I'm gonna head out. I appreciate you sticking with me for this long. I think we've already turned around. No, we're still heading toward the end. But again, I appreciate you watching, and don't take me too seriously. I don't want to get a whole bunch of hate mail or whatever. But I'm gonna try to come out with more content for you, and I was under pressure to kind of drop this as quick as possible. So that's why I didn't get a chance to shorten it or talk more coherently. But again, I appreciate y'all for sticking with me for this long, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.
That
I hope this video was able to inform or entertain in some way, so if you got anything out of it, please return the love and hit the like button to help me grow the channel. It really does help. And if you happen to be going through a difficult time, please remember to get out there and explore for yourself. Live in the moment, live in the now. Take the time to appreciate all the little things and find the joy in life. Tomorrow is never promised. Forget about material matters and simply be grateful for each and every breath. Morning is always a new opportunity, one more chance to start over. And most importantly, just be good to each other. We're all we got. It's really that simple. And as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.